Something ruptured.
G'day guys, Steve with Broken Sprocket. In this video, Zach and myself are heading down Mint Bushfire Trail and Wombat Flat Fire Trail on our way to the Monkey Gum Fire Trail in the Yalwal area of New South Wales. So, let's get started. We start our journey down Mint Bushfire Trail heading towards Monkey Gum Fire Trail. I'm driving a 1981 HJ47 Landcruiser Ute. It has a 2-inch suspension lift and brand new 33-inch tyres that I was keen to test out. It also has a winch. Both of our vehicles are unlocked and just have open diffs, which kind of makes it difficult at times. This is Zach and he's driving a 1999 Toyota Hilux 4x4. It has some bar work, 32-inch mud terrain tyres and a winch. It also has open diffs. The suspension is standard Toyota suspension. As we approach our first major obstacle, I just like to edge Eileen down nice and slowly, as I don't want to cause any underbody damage. The front suspension is flexing that hard that the right hand wheel is hitting on the bottom of the guard. Unfortunately, the back suspension has basically no flex at all. That's something I'm going to have to fix up. Now Zach's turn. He was a little bit too far to the right hand side and was trying to climb up that embankment, so we had to redirect him and tell him to go a little bit further to the left. There's something about Zach's car and it just does not like any type of articulation. It seems the easier it is, the harder it is for it to gain traction. With that torsion bar front end, the front end just does not flex at all, and he always seems to have trouble in this sort of area. And then you'll see it's climbed something you think would be absolutely impossible, and it seems to do something like that with ease. It's a bit frustrating for him and a bit strange the way that it works on this poor old Hilux.
Try and hug that wall a bit more. That's it. Try and go that way a bit more. I took this line, and you can see the tracks here of poor old Eileen. She almost rolled over. Zach's going to take a different line so that the chance of that is less.
Yeah, I made a really big mistake and I dropped into the washout with poor old Eileen a little bit too late, and it felt like it was going to roll. I was really frightened. I thought, this is it, I'm going over. Zach hooked up his winch to the back of Eileen and just put a little bit of tension on as I leaned it all the way into that gully. Eventually it got into the gully and everything was okay. So we put Zach on a different course and we put him in that gully much earlier to prevent that kind of thing. Once we got through that section, we stopped and we had a little bit of a rest, and I was complaining to Zach that the steering didn't feel quite right on the car. I had a lot of free movement and a lot of slop in the steering. It turns out that my drag link had collapsed the spring and my steering wasn't working correctly, and I was quite lucky to continue the rest of the day with the steering broken the way that it was. It was at this point a couple of 70 series Landcruisers passed us, and they said they're also heading towards Monkey Gum, and they offered that we could join in with their little convoy, and they were quite nice people and helped us out quite a lot for the rest of the journey. This creek crossing proved to be difficult both for Zach and I. This was first gear low range, and I thought I had it, but something just held it up. I think it was because the wheels were just popping off the ground and losing traction. Try again, second gear, low range, and I keep on slapping that log that's on the side of the track. Well, after 3 or 4 attempts, no matter what I did, Eileen was not going to get out of this creek bed by herself. We tried max tracks, we tried first gear, we tried second gear with a bit more speed, but no matter what I did, she just couldn't get that final bit, and we ended up hooking it onto the back of the 79 series Landcruiser, and they just gave it a gentle pull and out she came.
You'll break something. Zach, take it up as high as it goes and then stop. Stop! Right, leave it there. There's a hook here or a hook there.
I'll go the ones we can. Zach's Hilux had even less success, so we just hooked it onto the back of the Landcruiser as he could barely even get his front wheels to the top of the ledge.
get both wheels on the hump
Yeah,
and you got traction.
beautiful.
Because we got big wheel lift off. That one. Come too far this way. You want to get the left wheel on that hump? Try this one.
Don't rev it too hard, Zach. If that thing grabs, it'll snap the CV.
Yeah. Just try and run a steady pace rather.
That's it. A little bit more momentum, but not too much revs.
That was so close.
Just maybe that way a little bit, Zach.
Too far. You need to put your wheel probably right about here. Right on there. Go back a bit more.
Zach, go back even more and try and ride this bank a bit more.
Just get just a bit of momentum, but not heaps of revs.
Right, now try and ride that bank. Ah, so close.
Almost, you're just lifting that rear wheel.
Yes!
That's how you do it.
That's some I appreciated that revs there. You hear that? Did you hear that monster roar?
This is the last difficult section that there was on the trail until you hit Monkey Gum Fire Trail.
Right. Come that way.
These guys in these Land Cruisers were fantastic. They helped us out so much during this trail.
Start going on the left a bit. Straighten up. Here they come. That way. Take your left hand up on that bank a bit there. Straight at that. Straight to me. Straight to me. That's right.
Now with Zach completing that last section of this trail, we now start the start of Monkey Gum Fire Trail, which is much harder.
Just a little bit too short. Trying to go some fronts here, Pete. He's coming up there.
Earlier along the trail, this 76 series Land Cruiser lost the bolt to the left-hand front shock absorber. So the front-hand left shock absorber is totally removed at the moment, and the front of this Land Cruiser is very bouncy on that left-hand front. Now it's time for the Big Dog 79. This Land Cruiser is heavily modified with an extended chassis and it's weighing almost 4 tonne. You watch when it hits these bumps how heavy the back of the vehicle is. It makes the front very light and the front dances about a bit too much.
Alright, pop it from there. Go left to touch. About there. Pop it there. Go back, go. What?
Ooh.
Back a bit more. Yeah, try that. You don't want
Whoa! Something ruptured.
that was a tyre. Tyre dropped the beam.
Well, things just went from bad to worse for this poor Land Cruiser. Ripped the guard off, 2 rear wheels were damaged, 1 was dead flat, and now the tail shaft is sitting on the rock, and also another large rock jamming up that front wheel. Even after heavy winching, it was still a very difficult recovery for this Land Cruiser.
Is he stuck on something else? Rear springs are stuck. Yeah, they're stuck on this, on the rock here.
We need to get a maxi cover off that corner. What's the rope coming out?
I'd take it real steady, mate, because you're on your tail shaft as well.
Well, after watching 2 locked 35-inch tired 79 series struggle the way that they did at the very start of Monkey Gum Trail, it was getting late in the day, and I said to Zach, look mate, I don't think it's our day to go up Monkey Gum Trail with our vehicles that were unlocked, and we were relying heavily on those 79s to pull us through a lot of the hardest sections, all winch out. So I said, mate, I don't think today is our day. Eileen had something wrong with the steering. I didn't know exactly what it was at the time, but the drag link spring broke, so we were lucky to get out as it was. So with that, we thank the guys in the 79s for the help that they had given us so far in the day, and they went on their merry way, and they would have been a lot better off without us there anyway, as we were only slowing them down. So there was a guy at the bottom of Monkey Gum Fire Trail, and his KTM had broken down. His mates were on a rescue mission to go back and collect their 4-wheel drive, so I said chuck the bike on the back of Eileen and we'll help him out to get out of the Monkey Gum Trail. After about 20 minutes, we met the guys that were coming to rescue the KTM rider. Me and Zach were in front at the moment, and once we got past this obstacle, we let those guys go past, as we were both going very slow, as I was very concerned for the steering on Eileen.
Stop. Stop. Don't go back down that. Try now. Just go. Just go back a little bit. Come on. Right now, go towards that tree. Into the tree. Stop. Stop. Go back that little tree. Rightio. Well, we're both still out here. It's getting harder and harder as it's getting darker. Still got quite a lot of this trail to go. And yeah, it's getting wild.
Now, it was quite late by the time me and Zach exited the trail. It was actually 7 o'clock at night. It was very dark. We were very hungry, and so we headed to the local McDonald's and we had ourselves a feed before we went home. So if you like this kind of thing, consider subscribing, and you can also follow Broken Sprocket on Instagram. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you in the next video.